When I'm asked about my new company, Treeline Research, I often describe it as I study the things that show up in your mailbox. Or should I say, used to show up in your mailbox? Hello, my name is Andy Young. I am the founder and principal analyst of Treeline Research, and I study the transformation of printed and mailed customer communications to digital experiences. Right now, I'm primarily focused on transactional communications, those monthly bills and statements where we pay our credit card bill, right? We get our bank statement. And I started Treeline because that marketplace is changing. All you have to do is go out to your mailbox to see that that is actually true. But yet, the industry, and particularly the market research that supports it, really has not kept up with where we are in terms of the current state of customer communications. I like to describe it this way. Ray from the End of the Day with Ray would say that you don't innovate by bringing the past to today. You innovate by bringing the future to the present. And I think that really sums up my perspective, my point of view that I have with Treeline, which is we really need to look at where the market is going and where it is headed, not where it has been. You see, in my latest research on paper suppression of banks, insurance company, financial services firms, what we found is that overall, only 10% of a average customer's monthly engagement receiving, accessing communications from their bank, insurance company, financial services, 10% of those experiences are on print, are printed and mailed. The rest, 90% of that customer experience is digital. It's text, it's email, it's mobile, it's going through a website. 90%. That means that we are in a digital first marketplace. We are in a post printed customer communications marketplace. And we need to talk about it that way. Now, one of the things that I get oftentimes is, hey, Andy, I think that you're anti-print. Well, the reality is I'm not. I'm not anti-print at all. Because you see that 10% of those customer communications that I referenced that come currently in as part of a printed experience, that represents a huge industry in the United States. That represents somewhere between 11 and 12 billion mailed communications going through the postal stream. That's somewhere between 20 and 25 billion printed letter-sized pages. That's a lot of stuff. And any change to that 10% is going to have a huge impact on the industry, on the service providers, on the vendors, on the sales teams and organizations that are set up to deliver those printed and mailed communications. In fact, I get asked not to really talk about it. But I think it really is quite the opposite. We need to be talking about what's happening in this transformation because I believe that we are going to see a continual and significant decline in transactional bills and statements, printed bills and statements, through the end of this decade to the point of where we're probably going to be somewhere close between, I believe, about 93 to 95% digital adoption, which means, yes, there is going to be a small little bit of a print remaining, but it's going to be irrelevant. I mean, all you have to do is look at what happened in Europe. There's only a couple of service providers left in Europe that produce transactional printed bills and statements. So there are a lot of indicators, in my view, that we need to discuss. It's really not a value problem. It's a volume problem, right? It's the volumes that are driving the industry, and it's the volumes that are disappearing from print and increasingly going to digital because why? Businesses want to increase digital adoption. They want to drive efficiency. They want to drive sustainability. They want to drive down costs. They want to improve customer experience. And again, our data shows that once you get customers to a digital experience, they can deliver a much better and consistent experience than when print and paper is involved. So again, a lot of indicators. So that's part of the reason I started Treeline Research, and it's going to be the topic of my new blog series, Above the Treeline. We're going to talk about all those indicators. We're going to talk about current industry trends and news of the day. I'm going to bring in experts from both inside and outside of the industry. And heck, we might even have a little fun too. Who knows? We could certainly use it in this industry, right? And I think the really important part here is there is opportunity. There is opportunity through this transformation, and the companies that successfully navigate this, that successfully put digital first as a key driver to the success in print are going to win. And those that believe that they can ignore what's happening on the digital side of the equation, I believe they're going to have a real challenge moving into the future. So much to discuss. I hope that you will join me on this journey here at Above the Treeline. Again, my name is Andy Young, and please remember that the best views are from above the treeline.